Yo, what's going on everyone? It's LOZA. Today we're looking at my Dark Magician deck and we're doing some test hands with it. This is the 60 card engine deck that we're still testing out. This opening's not so bad. Let's play it out. We're going to start with Shining Sark, which is going to let us go and get the Shining Sark Dark Magician, which is just an absolute free summon. So we'll go ahead and put him down on the field. Now we can just turn him straight into Dark Magician. The Dragon, not the Dragon Knight, Dark Magician of Destruction. And we've got the Gaze, so if we get hit with an Imperm Veiler here, we can just chain the Gaze of Timaeus here. We're not going to do that here because we're chilling. We are going to pick up the Soul Servant here because we do need a discard for Diabell, and what better card to discard than Soul Servant. So we're going to use the Wanted now to get the Diabell. And as I mentioned, Diabell needs a discard, so Soul Servant, off you go. And yeah, Diabell will be able to search the Deceptions and put the Deceptions down here. At any point we can go get a draw 1 because we have Dark Magician on field and or Grave. We're just going to wait on that though because we can just kind of do everything else for now. So that's what we're going to do. Because the more we thin the deck the better, right? I don't want to draw into some of the random engine stuff right now. If I can thin it out of the deck first, if that makes sense. So we're going to search the Hollowed Azumena with Deceptions. Now we're going to send Deceptions with the Hollowed Azumena to make the Azumena Illusilvia. This is just a negate. Long story short, Omni negate. Pardon me. Now what we can do in the grave is we've got Wanted here. We're going to banish Wanted, shuffle back Deceptions onto the bottom, and get a random draw. We drew into another Soul Servant. Oh well, if we had Magician Souls here, we would be chilling. And technically, we could go and stack it now, but then that would defeat the purpose. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have not normal summoned yet. So, I'm going to banish this Soul Servant to draw 1. And then I'm going to chain this Soul Servant. And we can just go ahead and stack Magician's Rod. Alright, cool. Now we can normal Rod. Yep, let's use the Rod effect. Now, I guess we're kind of in a similar scenario where the second gaze isn't very meaningful, but I don't necessarily think it's true. I think we could have played a better path, actually, to get to Rod earlier, and we could have used the Azumena, the Deceptions tributing the Blue Eyes link, and we could have milled another Dark Magician, making this second search actually very useful. But you know what? With a hand like this, we could actually pick up Secrets and fuse these two away for Timaeus or the Dark Magicians. That's actually quite good. I think that's what we're going to end up doing. So we could make SP Little Knight with these two, or we can make a Secrets fusion into like the Timaeus Dragon. I low-key think that's a pretty good play, so we might go ahead and do that. Though the Dark Magician is also very respectable if we had another spell effect to use in the grave. But I think this is fine. Timaeus on the opponent's turn is pretty good. And we can set the Gaze, of course. We've got 2 hand traps, and we could maybe add Rod back next turn too. Maybe better to go into the Dark Magicians for that reason. You get a draw, and then you add Rod back. But anyway, let's pass the opponent, and we'll show you what we're going to do. Alright, so on the opponent's turn, maybe just to play around Super Poly or like, you know, scary stuff. We won't use the Gaze just yet until we need it. Opponent set a card, you could always just use Timaeus. If they activate a continuous spell or trap, or field spell, you know, Timaeus is really good then, just to say no. So that's really cool. Here's A Forces. We're going to pretend that's a relevant card. We're going to negate it with Illusilvia. Cool, it's negated, but just the effect, it doesn't destroy, it just negates. And from here's pretty much, before that Yumi came down, I should have gone for this, so we have our Dragoon out on the field. So let's just put him down. Now anything else my opponent does, I'm able to negate with Dragoon. You could use Rod effect to tribute here. If you did summon Dark Magicians, you draw 1 from the Gaze activation, and then you could even tribute the Dark Magicians, adding Rod back to hand. So you'd have 4 cards in your hand too, meaning your Dragoon doesn't have to discard one of your hand traps. That might have been the better play. It depends on the matchup, right? If the MST pop from this is good, then you go into this in the matchup. If it's not, I guess Dark Magicians is the better option. But anyway, we're not going to add Rod back here. Opponent is going to move phases. And I know we're pretty much done showing off the combo, but let's just talk about what happens on the next turn, because there's something... oh, my opponent's going to go Jar of Greed. Nope, we can't have you Jar of Greeding. That's banned. On the opponent's... oh, sorry, on our turn again, we have the Azumena, the Hollowed Azumena in the grave. And what we can do with that is shuffle back the Fusion, and we get Hollowed Azumena back in our hand, which is awesome. Now, it's because kind of a dead card, but it's a Dragoon negate discard, right? That's why it's really useful right here, right now. Of course, if we left Deceptions in the grave, it would have set itself as well. Meaning, you could just do the whole cycle again to summon Sylvia again. So, it's quite recyclable. And I guess because we did make the Timaeus Dragon with secrets, it's not going, which means its attack increase will just keep going and going, which is kind of funny. Dragoon is going to banish itself at the end of this turn, so probably the smartest thing to do, if it's not lethal to swing it in right now, you're probably just better off going straight into Dark Magician of Destruction after you've activated a spell. Go ahead and search for the Soul Servant. I think Soul Servant's going to be the best target because we can go get Rod back again. So I'm going to add Soul Servant. This is my third copy of Soul Servant. Kind of crazy. Soul Servant, go and get Rod back. Yes, we would like him, please. Banish the Soul Servant, draw. I guess technically you'd summon the Dark Magician Girl first before you did this off the Shining Sock stuff, but still. And yeah, from here you're pretty much just cooking in the battle phase, right? Swing, swing, swing. You can search with this. Seems good, right? Seems good. Alright, next hand, next hand, next hand. Oh, okay. We opened a couple of things. Actually, this is quite good. This is quite good, actually. So we can get Beryl, can get Souls, can summon DM right now. Opening Mausoleum kind of sucks, but it's okay. I think we're going to send both of these just for draws. So let's go Lordly Load first. It's the most important search. If you get Ashed here, it sucks, but we do have the cross out. So yeah, just go for it. If you get Drolled on res, we've got the cross out. Alright, we get the Beryl and we get the Drill Beam. That's probably the most important stuff. Probably. Illusion of Chaos. We are getting Souls. But now we have this awkward moment where there's like 3 cards we would like to send for draws. I guess we could put back Mausoleum here. Because we would send Raw and we would send Drill Beam for draws. But Mausoleum hasn't milled anything yet. This gives us an extra interruption. This gives us an extra vanilla in the grave. I guess because we have load, let's just get rid of this. Okay, so we need to get this Souls on the field like pronto. Milling a Dark Magician, that's absolutely fine. Oh, we want to summon the Dark Magician though, don't we? Ooh, I didn't think about that. We want to Souls draw 2, but we also want to summon the Dark Magician to go into Dark Magician of Destruction. Nothing's right, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. Oh, this is how I feel. What's the better play? Obviously, Load can summon a Dark Magician, but then we're locked out of searching with Dark Magician of Destruction, so no gaze. What's more important, random draw 2 or confirming Gaze of Timaeus? Damn, this is really awkward. I guess Roar is a discard. Roar is a discard for Dragoon, and then it's set up if they normal summon. Okay. No, I like that. Okay, so we're not going to draw with the Roar. Okay, this is not exactly how my head was planning this turn to go, but we're going to adapt on the fly. Go into the Dark Magician of Destruction. Go get Gaze of Timaeus. And yeah, we're pretty much just passing here. We've summoned 1, 2, 3 times. We can make a Link 2. Yeah, we're going to greed the Link 2. We're playing a Nibiru, but I think it's worth it to greed the Link 2. I mean, if we're greeting the Link 2... No, then we're locked into Dragons. Yep, no, we go SP. Or IP. Totally up to you. We're not going to banish anything. We set the Gaze of Timaeus. I don't think we need to set Raw. We'll use it as a discard. You could set Cross out if you wanted. And lastly, we can absolutely greed for this. You don't even need to greed for Dark Magician because you have Raw in the hand. So ignore that step. The Dark Magician summon there plays into Nibiru. I mean, you could say deck thinning the second copy of the vanilla, but this plays into Nibiru. So ultimately, what you'd want to do here is not use the load effect to summon because you've got Raw in the hand. Drill Beam can reveal Raw to activate, so yeah, I would say just don't do that bit. That bit is unnecessary. But anyway, let's pass to the opponent's turn. The Bone Mouse has come down. Alright, Banner of Courage. We probably should have flipped up Gaze at some point. we'll just flip up Gaze now, that's fine. Shuffling back the effect monster, we want to kind of keep the vanillas in rotation, it's important for Beryl. And yeah, just into Dragoon here. Cool. Battle phase, yo, the Bone Mouse getting kind of strong. 600 attack, kind of OP. Drawing Fua for turn, terrible. But of course, on the next turn, you kind of know all the interactions by now, but let's just go over. It's kind of like the maintenance you need to do to keep your deck in order. The Beryl needs to add back in the standby. Why didn't Beryl add back? I must have clicked no, but my apologies. There should be a Beryl in your hand right here. I must have right-clicked on my mouse, which does tell Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega no. So my bad. So many things pop up, so I'm just constantly clicking no. So, whoops. But naturally, you'd get the Beryl back, you'd normal the Beryl, you'd reset the Drill Beam, you'd turn Dark Magician of Destruction into a, you turn Dragoon into Dark Magician of Destruction, and kind of start the whole cycle again, right? But yeah, you guys would kind of understand that by now, so let's go to the next hand. Okay, interesting, we've got Primite, also got Fua, which will be a good discard for the Diabell stuff, and Wanted. I think we start with Wanted, because if your opponent hits you with Droll, you can just pass and Fua. You know what I mean? Like, if I start Beryl and my opponent, you know, either Ash, Imperm, Veilers, that's fine. But then on load, they go Droll, well, I can't use the Fua on my opponent's turn. So I think it's probably correct to lead the Wanted here. Obviously, if you get Ashed, you get Ashed. You just move on and do Primite stuff. But yeah, now that we have not been hit with the Droll, you can safely discard the Fua and start Diabell combo. So go get Deceptions. Flip up Deceptions. Suddenly you can turn her into Dark Magician of Destruction. And that means we're going to get Gaze. We love to see it. We really do. Normal summon the Beryl. Beryl effect. Beryl effect, go get load. Put the load here. Flip up load. We're going to get Drill Beam. I mean, there's not really ever another target. So we've summoned 1, 2, 3 times. So ending here perfectly on a negate right now is kind of huge. Just thinking we could mill another Dark Magician if we just go into the Blue Eyes Link stuff. So we might do that first. This plays into Nibiru and all that fun stuff, but does it really matter? No. Because if you get Nibiru'd here, you can still just Deceptions with the Draw Swarm from hand, like worst case scenario. I think this is fine. It's a little bit of overextension, but it's kind of like deck thinning, and I would say it's overall good. Alright, now go Deceptions, getting rid of this, get the Azamena. Gonna summon Illa Sylvia. So we have our negate. We can use Wanted to draw one. Is there anything we want to do before that? No. Okay, so Wanted to draw one. See what we can get. Ooh, Shining Sock DMG. Ooh, that's nice. That's really nice. What do we discard though? I guess Draw Swarm. Draw Swarm's probably the discard here. Beryl was still on field. Yeah, Beryl was still on field, we'd be chilling. Well, got rid of Beryl. Deceptions? Did Deceptions get rid of Beryl? Because that was a misplay if that... No, I turned Beryl into Spirit. No, never mind. I think that was fine. But yeah, now we just kind of have an awkward discard. But that's fine. I think Imperm's better. Go and get... I mean, it depends on the matchup, right? Whatever you're versing, you keep the one that's better. If you know what you're versing. We go and get Shining Sock now. We do be extending rather large now. If we could get... We've already normaled. I was going to say, if we can get Soul Servant here, we're like absolutely chilling. I guess we just search a spell. So we have a negate, so Shining Sock's live. Like, obviously searching Dark Magician here would be nice. We could make Selene and bring back... I don't know. It's not even worth bringing back anything, is it? But on the opponent's turn, we could bring something back, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I think, honestly, adding Future Silence here is kind of good. Because it means that Gold Sock is live. During opponent's turn, if they special from grave, discard a spell, target one of the monsters, Centigrade, right? I think that's actually quite good. But yeah, the DMG's kind of just chilling here. But that's okay, because we can just turn her into SP or IP. So if you had IP here, IP is also very good. I'm not going to banish anything. Last thing we're going to do is summon a Dark Magician, the last one from the deck. Cool, we're going to set our Imperm, set our Drill Beam, set our Gaze. I guess you'd keep the Imperm in your hand for Dragoon Negate, right? Do you have Rotting Grave? No. Yeah. We kind of need this for both the Dragoon discard and this. But you know what, it's more useful as the Dragoon discard, right? I think that's fine. Alright, it doubles up as like a potential Shining Sark thing anyway. Alright, let's pass to the opponent. We have a lot of interactions on the opponent's turn. Man, if only Shining Sark DMG could get rid of a card on field like Diabell, we could have just got rid of this Mausoleum that's just been sitting here doing nothing. Alright, opponent's going to hit us with a Kazaki normal summon. That is a little bit too OP. Go Gaze of Tomorrow. You probably shouldn't gaze before you use your other negates that are on the field, but yeah, you definitely shouldn't. Especially because your opponent could go like Duster or something. The one in the gray? No, we want to shuffle this back. The Dark Magician of Destruction, of course. Get our big boy Dragoon. Opponent be setting and forgetting. Banner of Courage. No way, Jose. That's too powerful. I guess because Drill Beam recycles itself and Illa Sylvia recycles herself. It's like you want to use these ones before you use your Dragoon as well. I feel like this is probably the best Omni Negate to start with. I feel like saving Drill Beam is good. Because Drill Beam negates and banishes. Okay, you could do like SP. Target itself in this. End phase, go Drill Beam on Banner of Command. That's too crazy. And SP is going to return. Sweet. Jar of Greed on the opponent's turn instantly. Nah, we got to hit you with the Dragoon Negate for that one, Chief. Alright. So, standby phase. We actually clicked the button this time. Add the barrel back. Very nice. Like, maintenance-wise, I think you guys understand what to do here. We've got so much we can do. As a mainer, go and recycle just so you have a free card, discard for Dragoon or just whatever else. We used Hold It as a mainer in the bin, so Dragoon can now become Dark Magician of Destruction. But so can this random Dark Magician. But, like, Dragoon's going at the end phase, so if you're not going to kill your opponent, use Dragoon. If you are going to kill your opponent, just use the Dark Magician, I guess. And, like, man, you just, like, your opponent is dead. Like, we didn't even need to get Rod, but, you know, we got Barrel. But you can get Rod normal, you can just go straight for Gaze. You've still got Shining Sark, go and get one of the bodies that can, like, just so much extension. So much extension. Very cool, very cool. Okay, this opening hand's interesting, because we kind of open up the cards you don't want to see, but we at least saw them together. Seeing Deceptions with Azamena is better than nothing. Let's just start with Raw. And we're going to call Dark Magician with Raw. If we're not met with an Ash, we're very happy. We're going to summon Dark Magician. Pay 2k sucks, but it is what it is. We can turn him straight into Dark Magician of Destruction. And go get Gaze of Timaeus, because we don't have it yet. Now we can set up our second negate kind of thing. So we can go Deceptions. Oh, we can't use it because we've already got the Azamena, so that's okay, I guess. Let's go straight for the Illa Sylvia. Cool, we've got our two negates. That's really it for this hand. It's... Oh, we don't have an extra card in the hand. We need a card for Dragoon Negate, but we also have two hand traps, so it's a bit unco. I don't know, I'd probably just leave the board like this and pass. Feels a bit bad. Now, in my head, you're Dragoon negating with the Imperm and you're using Ash on something. That's probably the better play. But yeah, this is definitely... Oh, at least you get this back. That's cool. You get Sinful Spoils back because we didn't want to draw it. So if you don't use Wanted to send Deception back for a draw, Deception does just reset itself, which is cool. It's not that relevant, but it's cool. Alright, Alright, we will have to use Gaze on the opponent's turn, probably after using Sylvia once again, but yup. Here's the big goony boy. Interesting that we drew one the turn after, but yep, I think that's kind of the end of this test hand. Let's go to the next one. Okay, opening the vanilla, always interesting. Because we've opened the vanilla in this hand, discard the vanilla, Diabell, go and get Deceptions, flip up Deceptions, go prep, Illusion of Chaos, go get Rod, go back Illusion of Chaos, or Tactics, but I don't know, probably not though. Rod, go and get yourself, probably Gaze of Timaeus, right? And then Rod, go make yourself extra useful. Rod can kind of double up as souls because you can turn it into the Blue Eyes Link. And then Mausoleum. And Mausoleum will mill the Dark Magician. And now we're locked into dragons, and that's where the Deception comes in. Shoutouts to Machi for showing us this. Get rid of the Blue Eyes Link. Now we got Azamena. Send Deceptions, get Sylvia. Still haven't made Dark Magician of Destruction, so let's do that. I guess we have all the Dark Magician, so getting a second copy of Gaze here is actually very viable. Which means we need to use one of them today. I guess I'm leaving this guy on my field and shuffling back one of the vanillas. So, let's welcome to the field, Dragoon number 1. Now, because Dragoons need so many negates, what I do like to do here is sometimes just not summon the second Dragoon off the second Gaze, and instead make like Timaeus. We can even make Master of Chaos. Yeah, actually, we're going to set this in perm because we're going to be making a Master of Chaos. Oh yeah, we randomly get Sinful back. Be cool if it was in the hand, but hey, that's alright. We're going to normal the Kingdom Hearts Key Mace. Any spells? Yeah, we'll go Sylvia on that. Yep. Any other spells? Nope, we're going to battle phase. Okay. Well, basically, you still got Dragoon Negate, right? So, in theory, we would have used Dragoon Negate. Like, in theory, we would have used Dragoon Negate, but we haven't. So, anyway, we're going to use the Gaze of Timaeus. We're going to shuffle back Dark Magician of Destruction. Yep. No, Dark Magician. The vanilla one. We're going to summon Master of Chaos. And then on a new chain, we're going to trigger Rod. Triggering the Dragoon that's already negated. Then we're going to trigger Master of Chaos. Targeting that same Dragoon. Whoop whoop! So we bring back the same Dragoon. This time, he will not be leaving the field from Gaze of Timaeus. And we have Rod back in hand for another discard. So we would have discarded this Tactics if we used the Dragoon Negate. Rod would be your next Dragoon Negate. And that's how you would play out the rest of that turn with another Dragoon Negate. Now it's come back to us. We got a lot to do, right? Look at our board. 3 DM fusions. We're going to go Azamena, shuffle back, get a random card in the hand. That's always good. Oh, we used the spell. So we can turn Dark Magician of Destruction into Dark Magician of Destruction. Which is a very funny interaction. We've already got Rod, so we probably get Gaze once again. And now just in the battle phase, you just kill your opponent, right? Like, haven't even normaled Rod yet, but you just get secrets, kill your opponent, right? Make all the fusions, your opponent is dead, right? This is insane. This is insane. That was crazy. That was crazy. Alright, I think I'm all out of doing test hands, but I think you guys can see the deck's potential. I'm not set on the build yet, hence why there's no deck profile yet, but maybe next time I'll still be testing with the boys in the DM Discord, and when I'm happy with it, I'll make an upload. But yeah, until then, don't forget to like, comment, sub. Shout out to the DM Royals, the members of my channel. You guys are the best. Thank you for supporting me, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.